Amigos, to each and every one of you that are listening here, I'm Sensei Pat Pinto. Thank you for joining me back to the Kyokushin Shuffle. This episode will explain what's ahead for this year, what I plan to do, and build content, news, updates, but more so, I've written a note here just to explain to people these episodes that I want to create across the Kyokushin karate landscape and slash martial arts landscape. I'm very, very passionate, obviously, about doing the episodes that I've done in the past with interviews of Forever the Student, the coaches that I interviewed as well, and some of the content that I put up just for basic karate and fitness needs over that COVID period. And last year was a bit of a gap year, which was great, a well-deserved break in a way, but this year back into it. Very excited and very, very appreciative of everyone that has subscribed and continue to follow the YouTube channel. And the reason I put it on the YouTube channel is because I talk with emotion and expression, and it's great to see guests come on that people are not so much familiar with, but they can feel and see more of their discussions. Will the podcast go on Spotify? A lot of people ask. I'll look into it. I have, obviously, but I'll look into it a little bit more if that's the case. And which leads to why am I back? Why am I doing this again and committing time and effort? But you will see that I don't mean it with any disrespect to anyone out there, but the editing process, the time, the effort, the alignment of guests, and so on. I had a lot of time over that COVID period to do that, and very, very fortunate that everyone gave me their time. But these days, not as much, which is a positive in itself. But please excuse the glitz and glamour of the podcast, branding and logos and all the above that I'd done in the past. That was fun. It was exciting. It was new. It was fresh, and I had a great time doing it. But it's not taking shortcuts, please. It's more just to get content out there. And what is content? Like I've heard content is things you fill your walls in and stuff like that. And when you're building a house, but content specific to Kyokushin karate, 23 years this year. So much that I can share that I'd love to share. And I know there's so many other students above me in the years that they've done it that have so much to share as well. But that was the reason I built the platform, to get those stories out there, those journeys. They're just so incredible, so remarkable, so inspiring. And I'll continue to do that. But I'll share a little bit more here as to a bit of a flow so people can get a bit excited, I feel, about this avenue that I want to head down. I'm extremely passionate about listening to other martial arts driven, guests and podcasts that others have, which led me to having that gap year last year and just watching and sitting back and exploring and learning a bit more about it. And in the end, I wrote down these words that I want to share with you all. And when I say all, we're nearly up to 1,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. We've got great support from hundreds of thousands of people with their Instagram pages and so on. And I just want to get this out there. So I wrote down what exactly is the Kyokushin Shuffle going to be? What's the point in doing it, right? Compared to the others out there, and it went straight towards, well, why don't you become a top 10 martial art slash podcast or content channel? And I'd love that. That would be amazing, right? That's if everyone was to say to each other here in the martial arts world, what would you rather be doing? Would you be working full time like I do and run dojos, or someone asked me, what would you rather be doing? I said, I'd love to just share content slash interviews, video footage of training, getting more knowledge and learning more and being forever the student. That's a massive, massive goal. And if this supports it in some way, awesome, positive energy to that. But this year is to, like I've said, I've written it down here, to help others and learn and discover and explore, and to be able to converse and appreciate and acknowledge Kyokushin karate, other martial arts, and all martial arts from around the world. Now, why do I say it in that manner? Because I've been fortunate with Kyokushin karate, where yes, we're driven towards the striking game, and you'll hear me talk a bit like that when I say game, the striking world. But Kyokushin has given me much more than the striking world. You know, we have our master that was integral in the judo world and in the stand-up world and in some grappling, and then, you know, best friends with Masahiko Kimura, one of the best judoka players ever. And you know, there's such a historical side to Kyokushin, meaning the ultimate truth. But the martial arts, as we all know, is unbelievable. Boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, all the different stand-up striking karate styles, which has just blown me away how many different styles there are, but they all lead to a nice branch of, you know, the last 100 years from Masoyama all the way up to when it first originated. So, you know, there's some key words I wanted to firstly let out from my notes that I wrote daily. And then this is the other side. This is the sanity side for me, and for maybe for many others that had written back to me saying that they love to have listened to what I said or what a guest had brought to the table, because I feel that most of us that are in the karate martial arts world have our dojo, our gym, our academy, and we're accustomed to the 20, 40, 50, 60, 100 students and friends and training partners. And then we acknowledge and see when we go to tournaments, we know other people / you know, the people that are good, the people that you'd love to train with, that are better, that are great, that have won, that have lost, whatever it may be. And I think the community of the arts is so far and wide. And I tried my best, I did my best to acknowledge as many as I could over that Forever the Student series, where I got to 50 episodes and got some absolute greats of the game across. And that's where the shuffle came from. The shuffle was across all different styles of martial arts and pedigree. So total respect for the game and total respect to all out there. This part now is to explore another year of different programs, I'm calling it, within the Kyokushin Shuffle. So how does that work? Well, let me deep dive. So one of the key conversations and topics that I want to continue to keep the flame alive with is the term the strongest karate. So there'll be a program called the strongest karate. That will be I would love to do that weekly. It's like a journal vlog for me, and I think that it will help others and educate others, but more so, the key to that strongest karate is to continue to put the message out there as to why we continue to uphold the strongest karate, you know, term or view of many others before us. And I feel that that's a flame that cannot be you know, burnt away in any watered down or any of those words that you want to use. We have to continue to keep that flame alive. And I think the interest of that is lots and lots of conversations, and second dans and above would obviously vouch for this. When you open up and talk about Kyokushin karate, what is the first thing you probably say about it? And it is, for me, the first sentence that comes out, it is recognized as the strongest karate. So to uphold that, that's going to be a program, and it'll have topics like I've got here. I'd love to, you know, deep dive into the 50-man kumite, which I was blessed and fortunate to complete last year, and explain that a little bit more. And I feel that that may interest new students and students that are in Kyokushin at the minute, and also the 100-man kumite. You know, so straight off the bat, I was like, well, what compares us differently to that? And that was one of them, one of the topics. The others is, you know, the concept of ichigeki, one strike, one kill. You know, we wouldn't obviously use that expression lightly under the circumstances of today's, you know, ways, but we are trained specifically for that one strike, one power, one move. And I'd like to talk about that. And then there's, the strong mind of the Kyokushin karateka and of our founder and of our forefathers and our masters and those that are going to continue to come through to hear the key attributes and key values of why the strongest karate has to have the strongest mind for pain, for, reason, for purpose, in full contact karate. And then explaining the difference between knockdown karate and budo karate / the knockdown karate has the rules, the sport side of what Kyokushin gives us, and then the budo karate of all things martial arts. Stripe, and the best coverage of that is Shion Cameron Quinn's Five Ranges. I just think it's the best analogy of explaining and walking through the books of Sosai Masayama. This is karate. What is karate? This is karate. Advanced karate. That's another topic. And these things have all progressed over last year in my gap year of just sitting back, getting some perspective on a lot of things, and and due to obviously more conversations of our good friends across other podcasts, The Martial Way, Senpai Scott and Shion Terry, a shout out to you two lads if you were listening, appreciative of your conversations and topics in their show, Real Karate, or you know where I'm coming from. Have a look at that. So that's going to be a program, and I'd love to pick a topic a week, and I'm sure there may be the converse side and the exploring and appreciation, those keywords I used at the start will be in there. Don't want to go more than half an hour, again back to the editing and time period, but just enough for people to know that there's a weekly chat coming through. The other side is an idea and concept that I've been communicating with Shion Sean O'Connell in Japan. Shion Sean and I go way back with our friendship and his connections with my Shion and so forth. But we're going to work on a program here called the Japan Chronicles. And the Japan Chronicles with Shion Sean will explore more about, obviously, Shion Sean's nearly 30 odd years in living in Japan. He's a New Zealand native, but he has a lot of knowledge firsthand and on the floor there in Japan. And I think we have this lost in translation. I know I have over the 23 years of doing the arts, and I think that's going to be a great episode. He's got some great ideas and concepts. Again, the platform can support Shion Sean and many other guests that we can potentially get, and we'll be exploring different things there. That may come in on a once every third week episode because of timing, because of guests, because of all these, life. So we will do our best there. I hope that gives some also perspective of what's ahead. And then there is another angle where just conversation and delving more into I guess the arts, more of martial arts. So there is a program that I've started to work with called Combat 360, and the combat meaning all things combat, and then the 360 meaning a holistic conversation. And that's again, that could, how do you keep those episodes how do you keep the Japan Chronicles episodes to half an hour? So you just simply can't. You can't give it justice. And that was one of the hardest things in coming back and doing this, is how much is too much and how little is too little. But it was time to just get back into it. And like I said, with all respect to everyone, in just getting this out and saving time and effort and energy towards editing, and as much as I can in not being too, verbal with language, there's going to be moments. But, one of the other things was for the kids and teens of this generation that are coming through in Kyokushin and in the arts to be able to connect and have something to listen to and and learn from. I mean, I still learn off so many other podcasts, and it's just such a blessing to listen to, those point as in they're around the corner, you know, from other countries that are Western English speaking that can, you know, share with their knowledge as well. I think we just continue to learn and again keep the theme of forever the student. That is the key towards communicating and keeping everyone across, you know, what's happening or who's interested, you know. So yeah, there's a take on what's ahead, and you know, the biggest thing for me is time. And to share quickly, yes, I work full time. I have a executive sales career. I've got the dojos that I have in Nunawading under the Kumite Martial Arts Academy. I've got one where I teach my kids here locally down the Surf Coast. So I'm on the go, but the support of my students and the support of my Shian and the support of my wife and kids, you know, that's what allows me to, you know, micromanage my time to a T. And if I can get this, I guess, conversations of the Kyokushin Shuffle out there, and not have to worry about the time of the editing and so on, then happy days. And I appreciate everyone's support. So I hope that gives everyone a bit of a view of what's ahead for the year, and a bit excited. And again, you know, it is going to be based on a couple of things that continue to support me and support my time with it. And that is obviously to subscribe to the channel, as they all say. I never pushed that in the last 2-3 years of all the work that I did and time of interviewing everyone. I didn't really want to force it upon anyone, but if you subscribe to the Kyokushin Shuffle, amazing. And then secondly, as you all may see in other podcasts, to support it in a financial means, there are multiple avenues. Now, one that I am extremely appreciative of, but I'm no longer charging because I was very thankful already, was Forever the Student ebook. So for those that aren't across that, jump on, explore that. It's at no charge. It's thanks to everyone else that purchased it for the last 2 years. We reached over 1,000 downloads. That's just unbelievable, right? You know, I committed a lot of time over that period. But Forever the Student ebook, check that out. That's integral for anyone that's beginning, intermediate, novice, or advanced, right? So listen to read those stories and get a grasp of those stories, and I hope that gives you some context. And then the other side of it is, like my good friend here, Shian Terry Burkett, who's got his shirts and apparel and so on. I'm looking at doing the Kyokushin Shuffle t-shirt. I think that's something that people would support and wear more so. I don't think it conflicts with anything across a dojo or a group or all those types of things. And hopefully we can reach a certain target, and I can get all your support when that pops up. So I'm working on that as we speak, because obviously you don't want to commit too much and then not get enough orders. So from a means of support, the ebook, download it, go for it, explore more, learn more. I hope that gives you some flavor towards Kyokushin and some martial artists out there that are just legends. And then we will crack into some apparel, t-shirts. I guess that's the easiest, I guess, avenue that I felt that could be supportive of everyone, because there were many that were paying for the ebook a little bit more than what they should have in supporting, and I sincerely appreciated that, but didn't have to. And it's free now. Pass it on to your students, please. Put the link. The link is payhip.com, the Kyokushin Shuffle, and then you'll start seeing products there, which will be in the link here on this podcast down the bottom. So there you have it. There's a bit of a take. I can't wait to share more with you all this year, 2023. And I'll do my absolute best. There are moments like earlier today where I'm like, shit, I'm meant to do this and get this going by February, and we're a week in already. There is lots to cover. There is lots to discuss. There is more so lots for everyone out there to know that people like me are out there to support you, to guide you, as long as you know, you have that glass half full, I guess. And I hope that we all learn together and, I guess, you know, get educated a lot more across the strongest karate. Let's explore the Japan Chronicles and learn of Xian Sean and his contacts and connection, and we will get that moving as best we can and when we can, and to make sure that that makes sense. And then the Combat 360 series will explore a multiple of things. I've got so many ideas that I'd love to go down, and I mean, if someone was willing to back and support and sponsor the show, I could do lots of stuff, as everyone says. But let's just take it for what it is. A big kudos to you all. Thanks for supporting the Kyokushin Shuffle. Thanks for supporting Forever the Student ebook. And thanks for supporting me for the rest of this year as I try and give back as much as I can from here onwards. All the best. Those that are in Melbourne, Victoria, Feb 18 at the Kumite Martial Arts Academy in Nunawading, open 50-round sparring session with some of the champion full contact fighters. Any level can come. It's a great experience for everyone to work together, learn off each other. So if you've got any questions, send me a DM. Have a great day. Big kudos to you all. Us.